This is Iron Sharpens Iron Council. Welcome to the evolution. Hi guys, the only way I'm going to get through this recording is by reading this report that I wrote today, because if I just speak directly, I'm going to be a mess. I need to be composed and I need to get this message across, because I have a 13-year-old boy, 13-year-old teenager that I'm raising. And I would be remiss if I said that I wasn't afraid every time he was out of my sight and out in the public, because of the climate that we live in. The situation that happened with George Floyd, it was a tipping point. It's been a tipping point, but this is just beyond the pale. And so let me get through this. Who do you call when the police murder? We have to stand together against systemic racism via GFA. GFA being the George Floyd Act. It's a new law that I want to introduce, but I'm going to need your help. The murder of George Floyd was vile. Even COVID-19 didn't stop the former police officers from killing George Floyd, which is really, really vile. I'm trying, I'm sorry. Ending systematic racism is the goal, because it is a public health crisis. It is a real threat. It is a threat to real lives. So how do we neutralize a threat? We get rid of a threat with speed and with real consequences for the violators perpetrating that threat. Passing the George Floyd Act, which I call GFA, is a real solution for change. GFA can fix injustice and inequality in America before another incident of police brutality takes another life. Passing the George Floyd Act as an emergency act by lawmakers in Congress must happen now, because we cannot normalize this pain. We the people are tired of the lip service, the rhetoric, and empty promises at every election cycle. Lawmakers in Congress can pass an emergency bill to preserve public health, so there's no excuse. It allows accountability to the public, where we the people will finally be able to police the police and live without fear of being killed or injured. With the creation of a new department called the George Floyd Department, the George Floyd Act Department, the GFA Department. So this new department will be superior to all law enforcement agencies, including Internal Affairs, DOJ, FBI, CIA, etc., with the power to deconstruct and reconstruct the entire agency of law enforcement agencies from top to bottom, where systemic racism and color of law is in operation. GFA delivers swift and severe political and financial consequences to the violators by arresting the violator or violators and charging them with crimes that they committed within 48 hours. GFA also brings relief to the victims and the family of the victims with damages and diplomatic immunity, so they never have to suffer this pain again. Corporate America, this message is for you. Business owners, this message is for you. And all members of the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch of government, this message is for you at all levels, the local, state, and federal levels. Especially, in particular, the law enforcement employees in its entirety. Let me do an exercise with you right now. I want you to close your eyes and now imagine that George Floyd was a member of your family. How does that make you feel? Now imagine experiencing that feeling on a daily basis. This imaginal act, this exercise, is taken directly from a scene in the movie called A Time to Kill, where that exercise was used in the closing remark to the jury panel, which was enough to convict the racist asshole who was on trial. Every corporate executive needs to recognize the urgency of this new law by applying pressure to move Congress to do the right thing. Every member of Congress is reminded that they work for the people. We want the members of Congress to find their humanity and find it fast, or risk being replaced during the next election cycle. And it's just that simple. People, I need you to download, go to the video description box and download and print and mail the free template of the proposed George Floyd bill from www.subscribepage.com/George Floyd. Okay, so right now, the news cycle has began to shift from what's causing the people to protest to now the peaceful protests and the peaceful protesters are being hijacked by extremist groups who have a hidden agenda to just, cause, madness, ruckus, and mayhem. So that's why I'm saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, and nobody can hijack that, okay? Go to the website. I'm going to put it in the video description link. Go to the website and print it. I've done the legwork for you. I constructed the bill, the proposal for the bill. All you need to do is download it and mail it out. Print it and mail it out, okay? Sign it, print it, mail it out. And I even gave you the website, the instructions on how to find your state representatives. I've already sent mine out to my 2 state senators, okay? The 2 state senators that represent the state of Maryland, okay? It's on the way, it's flying. So if everyone does this, it puts the pressure on the lawmakers, okay? Arresting one of the officers as of this present time was just the beginning, okay? But we all know most of the time these, cowards, they're not convicted. So in order to stop this racism as a pandemic, we need to go after the lawmakers, and that's through Congress. We have to have this law enacted so that they can't continue to do this, so that this can end today. They can't, just like they did with the COVID-19, and they passed all these emergency, suggestions and acts, I'm at my wit's end here. I just need you guys to understand. I've done the legwork. I need you guys to come on board and print this. It's time. We've run out of time. Enough is enough. So the website, again, I'm going to put it in the video description box, but it is subscribepage, all one word, .com/George Floyd. Okay, you can go there and download it, and I need you to act now. I need you to take action. This is a call to action. This is a global call to action. Okay, so I'm going to try to get through this. I'm going to try to get through this day. The last thing I want to say is, in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Family, unity is the solution. We are stronger together. Let's move together as one and get this bill proposed. And anyone who rejects the passing of this new law, replace them. Even if you have to run for office yourself, replace them, because they are revealing their position, that they're not standing with you. Okay, because right is right, wrong is wrong. Okay, you can never make wrong a right. So if they vote against it for any reason, this should pass unanimously, and it needs to pass now. It can be passed now. It can be introduced and passed this week, this coming week. And so anyone who rejects it, replace them. Write their names down. Next election cycle, make sure that they're replaced. Okay? If they can, bring up all of these emergency ordinances and laws and emergency this, that, and the next for COVID-19 as a pandemic, this is a real pandemic. Okay? Systematic racism has to end, and it has to end now before another innocent life is taken. Okay? Let's not sit back and let the news cycle die down and all the protests die down and everybody goes on to the next story. Don't wait till that happens. Take action now. Let's get this law passed. It can happen. We are who they work for. They are public officials. We voted them in, and we can vote them out. Okay, so please download it and spread the word. Okay, the physical protests and all that, people are getting hurt. I just saw on the real cycle, the news reel, a police officer just walked up to a woman, okay, and she was pretty small in comparison to his size, and he pushed her so hard that she was knocked at least 2 or 3 feet over and knocked down, and she was injured just today. I just saw that. So that's to show you it has to change. The only way it's going to change is if we enact a new law that makes it punishable for any public official, specifically law enforcement employees, to injure or kill any member of the public. Okay, so it's all in there. I put all of the accountability points, and all you have to do is print it, sign it, and mail it, send it out. We have to keep the pressure on before another life is lost. Before. I want this law to help protect everyone, because just like most of you, you have a little one that you're raising. I want my son to raise in a world where he has the right to breathe. He has the right to live. Okay? And I just don't want him to have to face the world as it is today. It has to change. Okay? So that's all I have for you. My name is Ann Smith. I am the founder of IronSharpensIronCouncil.com. Thank you for listening.